I think we're live now. Good evening, everyone. I'm Aygerim. Thank you for joining the Bishkek American Spaces weekly virtual U.S. State Tours program. Today, we will travel virtually to Oklahoma State with Kayla Jackson. Hi, Kayla.
Hi.
How are you?
Doing well.
Yeah, welcome to our live.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining early in the morning to do this presentation about Oklahoma State. And let me first introduce you to our public. Yeah. While Kayla Jackson was born in Texas, she was raised in a small town in western Oklahoma, where she calls home. She's a current student in the pre-medical track at the University of Oklahoma and pursuing degrees in health, medicine, and society, and human health and biology with minors in Spanish and international studies. Kayla is currently the Oklahoma outreach intern for the Diplomat of Residence. When she's not studying or with friends or with family, one can find Kayla spending time with her dog, learning new languages, and planning future travel trips she plans to take.
Okay.
Awesome. Kayla, thank you. We are excited to have this session with you. Can we ask what's your dog's name?
So my dog's name is Ollie. And then
Oh.
When he's in trouble, it's Oliver. So he's got those two names.
Yeah, wonderful. So, dear viewers, as always, you may ask any interested questions to our guest speaker, Kayla, and type your comments so we can start.
Perfect. Well, thank you all as well for inviting me. I'm very honored to be speaking about my home state. And then let me get this, and then go back to our beginning. Perfect. Okay, so my home state is Oklahoma. A lot of people, when I traveled abroad, they were like, Oklahoma, which one is that? And I usually told them the state above Texas, just because it does give a geographic location for them. However, we are a very beautiful state as well, and I do encourage people to travel here when they do. And so let's get started. Of course, I'm not an official representative of the U.S. Embassy in the Kyrgyz Republic. Opinions expressed are solely my own and do not express the views or opinions of the U.S. Embassy in the Kyrgyz Republic. Perfect. And this is just a bit more about me. As was said, I'm a senior at the University of Oklahoma. I am hoping to become a doctor in the future. I'll possibly be entering medical school in a couple years. I did study abroad in Italy for a semester while I'm here at the university. That was actually my first time abroad, and I absolutely loved it. Found my love of traveling, meeting new people, and because I do love to meet new cultures, I've actually been studying languages while I'm here at the university, and I've studied Spanish, Arabic, and currently just added Chinese. And as I said, I do have a dog. This is what I call my little child, my baby. He is currently 8 months old, so he's still very much a puppy, but he is definitely my best friend, and we enjoy taking walks out on campus or even traveling, and he definitely loves to being outside. And currently, we actually just had a huge snowstorm here in Oklahoma, which I'll talk about later with weather. But he has been loving the snow and playing out. Me, not so personally much, but he has been loving the snow. Continuing on, this is actually my family. So we have my parents, and then I have a younger sister, and that is actually at my university in front of our library in the springtime. It's absolutely beautiful, and I can't wait when our spring will come, maybe in a couple months, we're hoping. And then, so Oklahoma. What we have here is a picture what I personally thought a lot of people thought what Oklahoma was. And they think of like a field of wheat in the middle of nowhere. It's flat. And then here are some state facts. So we have Oklahoma. The name actually originates from the Choctaw language, red people. And so that actually hints at our indigenous roots that we have here. Our population is 3.957 million. So quite not as large as other states, but we do have a good amount of population here. And then our statehood was in 1907. And I actually lived here in Oklahoma in 2007. So I was here for our centennial anniversary, and there was big celebrations for our state. Continuing on with our state facts, our capital is Oklahoma City, and you'll see later on the map, it's actually very central to our state. Our state bird is our scissor-tail flycatcher, and our flower is mistletoe. Those are some other facts over here on our right, but I wanted to hint at our meal because I learned something when I was creating this presentation about my state. I didn't know we had a state meal. So it was really interesting, and these foods are actually very common in my family. We do eat fried okra, cornbread, barbecue, and then what found it most interesting was our last one was the black-eyed peas. And actually, the black-eyed peas, my family has a tradition with, and we actually eat black-eyed peas every New Year Day, and it supposedly brings us good luck. This past New Year's back in January, a month ago, my mom was like, please eat all the black-eyed peas you possibly can. Like, we need a good year. So we actually ate black-eyed peas an amount of 365 for each day of the year for 2021. So here is where Oklahoma is. As you can see, it is above Texas and below Kansas. So it's very central to our region. So a lot of people call it either the South or the Midwest. It depends on who you're talking to, but we are definitely central to everything. And actually, if you look here, the blue roads are actually our major interstates. And so as you can see, we really do connect the country as we have it coming from the east, the west, as well as north and south. And as you can see, that middle area, right in the middle where all those roads meet, that is actually where Oklahoma City is, and that is our capital. Okay, and going back, so as I said kind of earlier, this is kind of what people think of when they think of Oklahoma: plains, flat, a field growing with crops soon. And actually, this is a quote that we have here. It says, Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the plain, and the waving wheat can sure smell sweet. And these are actually lyrics from our state song, which I actually have a video later for us to see. But as you can see, while part of our state does have the plain-like features, we are actually a very diverse region as well. And so actually here are some images from Oklahoma. Yes, they are all in just one state, which is very uncommon sometimes. So we have these area down south on our top left, that's Turner Falls. It's a beautiful area in spring and summer. A lot of people here will go down and visit and swim. And then we have our top right, which is beautiful during fall, as you can see, but is packed with trees and very diverse landscape with that, with the rivers. And that's actually in about kind of our more eastern side of Oklahoma. And then our bottom left, that is what we call the Wichita Mountains, which compared to other states, they're not the biggest ones, but they do still provide elevation in our state. And that's more of our southwest region. And then we have more of, I think, what people call the plains for our western region, which actually that's where I'm personally from. So that's more of my area landscape that you will see is more plains-like. And actually, here's another image of our diverse area. So as you can see, they're very contrasting wherever you do go in the state, which is what sometimes I feel that I didn't know personally when I came to Oklahoma. But so there's always an opportunity to travel to somewhere new and always get to see a new region and a new landscape. And then we even actually have what we call a little sand dune or a little desert. It's called Little Sahara State Park. And people come here to travel, to spend a nice weekend, and it's quite a lot of fun. I haven't personally been quite yet, but I definitely would like to travel in the near future just to see something that's so very unique to our state. Now, here is the weather. Most people think that the weather is very traditional. We have spring, summer, fall, winter, and we have all 4 seasons. It's just the timing of them can be a little bit odd. We will have one day with very summer-like conditions, and the next day we will have snow, ice, chilling winds, and it's very kind of a bit alarming at some points. And so I volunteer with international students here, and one thing I always let them know is be prepared for any type of weather. It could go from one day to the next. And specifically with Oklahoma, we have very common weather events called tornadoes, because we are actually located in what we call Tornado Alley. And this is a phenomenon that happens in springtime, but can go all the way up to probably March is the beginning of March, May, really, and then all the way to November. So it's a good portion of our year that we have. And so they're quite beautiful, but also alarming at the same time. I have actually personally had to seek shelter from a tornado that was forming, just right above my eyes. And I was like, oh, wow, to see it is something different than actually to experience it. Luckily, it wasn't as significant as the one featured, but it is a concern that we do have. And so we have shelters here in most buildings or in nearby open shelters for the communities. And so we'll usually just seek shelter when it gets bad, wait maybe a couple hours at most, and then the weather usually moves on. When these do happen, they can cause damage and take houses because it's a very strong wind that's spinning in the tornado. And as you can see, it has like a little bit of dust at the bottom that's picking up the dirt and such. So they are dangerous, but you can definitely tell who has been living here in Oklahoma and who is new. Most people from Oklahoma are aware and they're concerned, but they're not as scared about it because we are quite used to it. On average, we sometimes have over 100 tornadoes in a year. And if we're having an especially bad year, I know we've gone up to over 150, close up to 200. And so a large part of this state has indigenous roots. So a lot of the tribes were first forced from their lands, and they came to what we call Oklahoma Territory. And so these are all the tribal regions that that is officially recognized in the state. So that does form quite a bit of the region area. And then I have a video that I'm sharing with you. This is some images of indigenous regalia and also of their dance. We celebrate Indigenous Day at my university and in the state. And so I just wanted to give y'all a piece of what you can see if you attend any Native events. Let me see. Okay. Make sure my volume. So this was a video that the university I attend journalist program did. They shot those videos from the Indigenous Day that we had a couple years ago. So it's quite a beautiful event. And while a lot of people have Indigenous ancestry here in Oklahoma, not everybody does, but a good portion of the state does due to the where tribes are located. And there we go. So here's some more images. So here is actually a image of an event that they had, and as you can see, they have around the circle that was similar to where they're singing in the video. And then below we do have some jewelry that is common at these events that a lot of the men and women make, and they're absolutely beautiful. I love going to these events for the culture aspect, but also the jewelry that they create is so beautiful. And then on the left is actually a friend of mine. There's a position here at OU that kind of serves as representation. And so she served as that role a couple years ago. And there is her in a kind of regalia outfit as well. And then you can see she does have some earrings on. And that was during our homecoming parade that she is waving out into the crowd. As well as, not only do we have events, we do have advocacy programs that we help with. This one specifically is the MMIW, which is Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women. So in the United States and in Canada, Indigenous women are 3.5 more times likely to be missing or be murdered, which is and that was 3.5 times higher than any race. And so it's quite a big concern for us. But in order to educate other people about this, we hold events here. And this was something of an organization I'm a part of at my campus. So we do the No More the Red Dress Project. And so these are dresses that you can see, and they are supposed to represent our missing sisters. And then if you look on the left with the photo of the women, we put sand in between the cracks of the sidewalk to represent that we're not going to allow any more sisters become lost in the cracks. That's just to represent that we are aware and we want to support our communities. Another thing that is very big for my state is football. And while I'm a little bit biased because I do attend a university here that has a football team, I think it's personally the best, but there are other teams in Oklahoma that are really good. So as you can see, that's actually a picture that I took on the top right at my football stadium university actually it's just a couple mile away. And as you can see, it's packed with people. This is a very well-loved event for us. And then that is me at the right, or the left, pardon me. And that was actually at one of our big rivalry games that we actually go down to Texas and go to. And then here's another picture of the stadium. It is quite large. It actually is the 23rd largest stadium in the world. I didn't know that, but I totally believe it after seeing this photo. We can hold about over 86,000 people in the stadium with full capacity. And then here is a video. This is actually the band for the university. They are amazing. They make the best music. And then they're also showing our state song, so you'll be able to hear that as well. So let me play.
Ladies and gentlemen, now entering the field under the leadership of drum major Paxton Lee, the University of Oklahoma proudly presents the 2019 Ride of Oklahoma. Sitting the prize featured further, reigning U.S. National Collegiate Grand Champion, Emily Perkins. The bride now invites all Sugar fans to join together in singing our state song. Ladies and gentlemen, the flag of the great state of Oklahoma.
No worries. Perfect. So that was at our football games. That happens at every game. And that was our state song. And they do bring out our state flag while they are playing it. There are lyrics to the words. I personally cannot sing very well, so I'm sorry that I can't sing this song to you. But if you ever want to look it up, it is actually the song on Oklahoma, which is actually a Broadway musical. So it was a Broadway musical, and then we took one of the songs, Oklahoma, and we took it and had it as our state song. And so it's very beloved for us. And thank y'all so much for allowing me to come speak about my state, and love to hear what questions y'all have.
Thank you, Kayla. It was such a great presentation. Yeah, it's wonderful to learn about Oklahoma and its outstanding people, culture, food, and amazing places. Thank you. And I remember that the U.S. Embassy Bishkek invited native pride dancers in 2016 from the United States. And it was a great cultural exchange program here for local audience. So we could learn, about the Native American dance group who I remember they were performing at local universities, libraries, and other public places. And we could see all of this handmade, colorful, traditional wearing. And
It is beautiful.
it is, yes. So thank you for sharing all of this performances. It was really exciting. I would like to remind all our viewers, please ask your questions and leave your comments. I have a question. Do you also perform usually at your campus or?
So I do not perform in any of the indigenous dances. I do attend events with one of the organizations that I am a part of. We volunteer. We often serve our elders and our community in those events, and I personally love to go watch. I do have friends who I know participate in the dances, and it's just an absolutely beautiful performance to see. And they're very diverse too, because while there are many indigenous people, they all have their respective tribes, and each tribe is very different and very diverse in their own culture. So it's even like we have like hundreds of different cultures with native ties.
Wow. Yeah, I remember that this dance group that we invited, that the embassy invited, it was from northeastern Utah,
Mhm.
I guess, and from Idaho. So
Perfect.
yeah, and it's good to know that to know about the meaning of the state, that is that you called it Red People in Choctaw, right?
Yes, that's where the name originates. And
Wow.
part of that, I believe, is with the skin color, but also I didn't know quite if you saw, but the dirt that we have here, it's not really brown. It's more of a red color. It's more of a red clay kind of color instead of the normal brown soil, which kind of I've shown it to a lot of my international friends, and they're like, What is this? What isn't it soil?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's just a little red tinted," and so it's something very unique to our state too.
Yeah, just to know. And what are some Choctaw traditions? Can you tell us about this?
So I personally am not a descendant of the Choctaw tribe, so I don't quite know any of their specific traditions. Um, some that I just know generally is that it's a very much a very spiritual connection and a community based. And so people really do love to support their communities in their indigenous areas. And also, whether they leave and then they come back, it's very much a family tie. I think it's a little bit different than a lot of places here, because they have that very community based home no matter what.
Nice, thanks for your answer. And we have here a comment. We know that Black Eyed Peas is a well-known U.S. music band. Now we know what does it mean.
Yes, it is a music band. Personally, I probably knew the food before I knew the band, just because I've been raised with it. Um, I remember when I was quite young, I did not like Black Eyed Peas, and my mom was forcing me to eat it because I needed all the luck that I possibly could get. But now I quite enjoy it, and I do think the band is well more known about than personally the food.
Nice. You said you love learning languages, and can you tell us about this? What languages are you studying now?
So I've been studying Spanish for about 7 years. Spanish is a language used. We do have a very large Hispanic population here in Oklahoma as well, since we are just right above Texas. And so for me personally, when I was first introduced, I was like, oh, okay, this is a little hard, but then just I fell in love with the language. So I've been studying it for about 7 years now. And I really do hope to become professionally fluent in maybe about 3 or 5 more years, depends. And then I found myself learning another language just to begin it, because once I attend medical school or a professional school after college, I might not have as much time. So I decided to do Arabic, which it's a very beautiful language as well. it did take me longer to start it, as it has some sounds that I, as an English speaker, do not have in the language. So it took a lot of practice looking in the mirror, which can be a bit odd, and just to try to make those sounds. But I have a very good professor, and she has been helping me through the class and learning it. And then my last one is Mandarin. I've been studying it just for about a month and a half now. I personally love it as well, which is it's just hard for some people. They're like, you like all three languages? And I'm like, yes, I love them. And I really do hope to be able to use all three in more of a conversational way. Hopefully, I would think maybe 10 years, 5 to 10 years. It definitely does take a lot more time than I thought. But I would love to travel to a country and be able to speak their language. Just even saying hello, how are you, thank you. I think it's a lot more polite to be able to go somewhere and show that respect and try to speak the language.
Yeah, true. Thank you. Wow, 3 languages. Yeah, I remember I started learning French,
Yes.
but yeah, I visited only for two months and do not remember anything. It's my bad. Yeah. So we have comments here from our viewers. Thank you, Kayla, for sharing information about your state. So people are thanking you for your presentation. And you said you love traveling. And how many countries or states have you traveled to for now? Since we are doing this virtual US state tours, I think it's very timely.
So since so I couldn't receive my passport until I was 18. So I wasn't able to travel abroad until then. But my family, we love to go to different states. We took at least one family vacation each year. And so I would think at least 15 to 25 states, I think.
Wow.
I still have many more to see.
It's a lot.
It is. I know there are some people that I know who've only traveled to Oklahoma and Texas. Some to list a few. Maybe you all have been able to watch them, their state presentations. I know for a fact, I've been to South Dakota. I know y'all saw that one last week. Very beautiful state. Then I've been to Colorado. That's a very beautiful state with what I call actual mountains. They're very large and majestic. And then been down south for like Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida. That's where my mom's side of the family is from. And we actually go and have what we call family reunion there. And so all of her siblings will bring her family, and then we'll have a big dinner. And we'll usually go down to the beach down there, which very beautiful, white sand, often clear blue water, very beautiful. So the United States is very diverse, and there's just so much that you can see with all 50 states. It is my goal to go to all 50 states sometime, but we'll see when I can complete that. I need to put a check mark by a state map or something.
Wow. Yeah, I remember we had a session with Rebecca Rice. She has experience traveling to all the states, and she has been traveled. And yeah, and she shared her some tips, to know while traveling to all the states. Yeah, thank you. And you mentioned about your family a little bit. And can you tell more about your family? Or what do you like to do together, and which places do you like to visit with your family in Oklahoma?
Yes. So my immediate family, like in that picture, was my parents and my sister. We personally love to go to national parks. So that was our favorite thing that we like to do. We like to be in nature, to go do hiking or go to a lake. In Oklahoma, I would say our favorite has been more of the eastern and southeastern side with the pretty trees and then the rivers and area. We'll take those and we'll actually do kind of like a drive tour, because most travel that we have is you need to have a car and you need to be able to drive. And then some of just the regular things that my family does, we do go, we'll travel to like other places with family and get to spend time with them, and do those activities. Where I'm from, Western Oklahoma, you usually need to travel elsewhere to do other stuff. And so that's why I'm very fortunate to have my family like take me to places.
Wow, thanks. We have here a question from Mirgul. Thank you, Mirgul, for asking us your questions. Which state impressed you the most?
That is very difficult. Ooh, I would have to say, because I love going to places that are like very different, I would have to say the state that impressed me the most was, I think I would have two. I have Colorado. I think it's a very beautiful state, even in winter. And I'm not the biggest fan of the cold. I like snow, but there's only so much you can take of it. But I did go see Colorado with snow, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And then on the other side, I would have to say I loved, I would say I love Tennessee. It's very green and very beautiful there, and there's a lot more rivers and states. And then, but that's personally looking at the nature aspect. There are better states with bigger, like bigger cities that are very interesting, but I just personally like nature. So I like to look at what the state has. And those, I think, were the two that I was most impressed by.
Wow, thank you. And what do you think? You said the Oklahoma state is very diverse, and what attracts people the most of all in Oklahoma? Where people can come and maybe to learn more about tribes, about the culture of indigenous people.
So for the state, you can go, so most people do when they travel, they do go to our state capital, which is Oklahoma City. It is our main area, main base. And then if you're wanting to find more information about Native tribes and what they're doing, you can more than likely look at their different individual information posts. Usually they'll have like websites to show what they're doing and what events they have. A lot, I know our state also has informational sessions as well to show what Oklahoma has, and a lot of them do show the indigenous events as well. So that might be a great place to look. But since each tribe is so unique, usually you need to look at each individual information post.
Yeah, thank you. And we have here more questions from our audience. Here, question from Idai, one of the most well-known celebrities to hail from your state.
That is a good one. So Oklahoma, as I said, was kind of like Midwest, also Southern kind of state. So we have a very large country music population here. So we had several from that grew up here. One of them is that comes to mind that it was just a city above in Moore, and that his name is Toby Keith. And then I'm trying to think who else. We have had several. Oh, another one for a female country artist is Carrie Underwood. I'm trying to think. those are the two that come to my mind. And most people, if they are famous, they're for any reason, it is for music.
Yeah, thank you. Now we will know about the celebrities. We read from Facebook and different articles in social media about winter storms in Texas, that people are now without power. Since you're close to Texas, how do you also have these problems now, these storms?
Yes, so we've had probably about a good 2 days for the first storm. We had 2 days of snow, and we probably got about a foot of snow, which is very uncommon for here. We have snow, but it's like 3 or 4 inches. And now we had our second storm, so we had more snow on top of that. So a lot of our roads are closed. My school has been canceled for the last 4 days now, and I think it's starting to end, and personally, because I have lived in Texas as well, I think because we're so unused to the snow, it was such a shock to have it. And our systems, our electrical systems, and our roads we didn't know how to navigate. But yep, so Texas and Oklahoma. I'm actually very lucky that I woke up to power today. Sometimes we have had lost it with the snow and the ice. So I'm very fortunate right now. We'll see if I still have it later on today. But yep, we had a lot of snow, and my dog Ollie loves the snow, which means I have to go out in the snow. But it's a very, very beautiful to look at, very cold to actually step in.
Oh, yeah. I would like to thank you. I'm happy that you could join without any technical issues and to present about Oklahoma. And I hope that everything would be back to normal very soon in your area. Yeah. So we have more questions from audience. Here, Aida is asking, have you ever heard about Kyrgyzstan? And she's also thanking for the presentation about Oklahoma.
So I had heard a little bit about before, but like many countries, I would love to travel and to go and see Kyrgyzstan, because I think it's an area that a lot of people don't know about. And I'm very much a big proponent of going and meeting people and seeing. So I hope to come one day and see your beautiful country.
Yeah, we hope to see you here also, because I think there are a lot of similarities between Oklahoma and Kyrgyzstan. Yeah, we have more questions. What is unique to your home state?
What's unique? I would say something that is very unique, I think, is people's welcoming attitude. They're very welcoming. You'll see at the grocery store, people will say hi, and you may not know them, but you say hi. And I think everyone's very willing to help each other. And that's something I think was very unique when I came here. Everyone was just very welcoming. And I think that's something that I even hear from international students. They're like, people are so kind. They're so nice here. And I'm like, well, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you think we are. And I think that is something very unique in the people. And then in the state, I think it is another unique aspect is how I think it's with when I showed you all the football, usually, if not everybody will have a team. You're either one or the other, and you have to choose because it's super important for sports here. So we're very much a very loved sports state. And there's other sports, of course. Softball is one, baseball, soccer, which is the world football for others. And then also here at my university, we have gymnastics, and they're actually a very very, very good team and actually been to world champions a couple times.
Wow. Thank you. I think you motivated more and more people from Kyrgyzstan to visit your home state, saying that you have a welcoming um, uh, atmosphere. Yeah, so saying about sports, here we have relevant questions from our audience. What sports are popular in Oklahoma, or are there any unusual types of sports?
So I think so we have sports that a lot of people watch, and then sports that a lot of people participate. Personally, that what I've seen in our state is a lot of people participate in softball. That's very popular. Besides American football, that one's very popular. Actually, in OKC, we have a stadium that's for the World Championship that for softball. So we actually have our U.S. World Championship, and then actually we have the where actually other countries come and participate. And I know one of them was we have Team USA, of course, Team Japan. Then there was, I believe, some South American or Latin or South American teams that come. So it's very well loved sport that comes here. And people will just, it's in the middle of summer when it does play. And so people will come and watch, and they'll sit in the very hot summer and watch it, but we absolutely love it. Another sport I would say is soccer. Soccer is very well loved here. And I never personally played it, but I did enjoy watching it. And then, as you did see, like the American football is very well loved here. And those, I think, are the most popular ones. And I don't quite think we have any that are very unique to Oklahoma, but.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your answer. We have here a question about food. What food is native to Oklahoma, and what's your favorite one?
Ooh, so what I call our food is very more home style. So we do, because we are landlocked, so there's no ocean or no water that's large enough for food. So I would say we have a very large beef, chicken staple to our food. One food that I think native to Oklahoma personally, I would think I think it's more of a regional food than quite just a state food. Cornbread is very popular. It's my mom's favorite dish. She makes it for our holidays. I think that's one. And then I would say we're very, like I said, traditional with beef. So we'll have a lot of steaks. And then I actually, very funny, I went through what my parents called a phase where I didn't like beef. I didn't like the taste of it. I didn't know what was going on. So I preferred chicken. And my mom was like, well, you might go hungry a little bit if you're not going to eat beef. And I was just like, it'll be fine. I'll eat chicken. But I do enjoy beef now. I love a good burger. And so I think my favorite would have to be just a really good juicy hamburger with cheese, pickles, onions. And then we actually have like several restaurants that are very popular for those. And so it's quite easy to find one here.
Thank you. And it's another link to our country because we also do not have fresh seafood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we Kyrgyz people also eat a lot of meat. Yeah, it's very cultural similarities.
Yeah.
So we have here a question about products. Each state is well known for production of some products. For what Oklahoma is famous for?
So for Oklahoma, I would say we are well known for we are what we call like an oil state. So we have a lot of jobs that are in oil, natural gas. I think that is what we are most well known for, product wise, and because I don't think we quite have any food product that I'm thinking of at the moment, but that's what I think we are most known for, or besides being in Tornado Alley.
Oh, let's see. Here another question from our viewers, Emir. Thank you, Emir, for your question. Emir is asking, have you been to any Asian countries?
I have not. That, like I said, that is actually the area that I want to travel to next, just because, like, the United States is so very diverse. Each country has its own culture and regional aspects that I would love to see. And I have a lot of friends from Asian countries and that I want to go and visit them. And so I do want to. Most of my travels has been in Europe, since I did live in Italy, and I did do a little traveling in that area. But I do want to go. I have like a huge list of countries, and a lot of them are in Asia.
Wow. Great to see the places where your friends are from. Yeah. And here we have another question from our viewers. What are some interesting facts about Oklahoma do you know? And I heard about dinosaur fossils which were found there. So interesting to know.
Yes, there are dinosaur fossils that are here in Oklahoma and in Texas, just that I know of. Actually, one of the things that I did as a very young child, while it was not in Oklahoma, it was in Texas, just because I know of this. There is this riverbed that has dinosaur fossil steps. So they fill with water, and there you can see the track of the dinosaur, and it's absolutely beautiful. And that was actually a place that we would go to, and I would swim and play, and we would get pictures. And I don't know if there's anything quite like that in Oklahoma, but we do have many fossils that you're able to learn about and see. It is very unique. And actually, when I was very young, I wanted to be a paleontologist and study dinosaur fossils. So I had an absolute love for dinosaurs. And so that is something that you can find here.
Wow. It might be interesting for kids, who love adventures, to see all of this, places where they can see the dinosaurs were staying there a long time ago. Here we have a comment from Emir. You're always welcome to our country. A great country with beautiful and hospitable people.
Perfect. Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Emir, for your comments, for your questions. And thank you all for being active during this live. I think we do not have any questions now. We had a wonderful time listening to you and learning about your home state, Kayla. Thank you so much for doing this presentation for us. It was very informative, useful. Thank you, Bishkek AC followers, for asking your questions and for spending a Wednesday evening with us. Stay tuned to learn about other U.S. states within the Bishkek U.S. State Tour series. So thank you, Kayla. As I said before, we'll be happy to see you here in Kyrgyzstan. And thank you for joining our live. Despite all of this weather conditions. Wish you a great day. And say hi to your dog.
Yes, will do. Thank you so much again for having me.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. It was great to meet you, to have you today. Bye.